Welcome back to In the Green Room with Danny Grant. This is episode 6. I apologise that there's been an extra week in between. Unfortunately, as life goes, things happen and it didn't go according to plan, but I'm back here. This week I've got a friend of mine and someone I've worked with fairly closely the last sort of 2-3 years. Melbourne, MLBRN. He's a local rapper from Victoria with Polynesian background. Love him or hate him, he's the big man from the southeast. He probably put the whole rap thing sort of, I guess, on the map in the early days. How are you, Ronnie?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate.
That's his real name, so his real name is Ronald, but I'll try not to use that because it might get confusing. How you been?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
How was today?
Today was pretty productive.
Yeah.
Been all right, yeah. I had a day off. I actually had court, but that's why I'm off. But yeah, no, it's been good.
You had court or you had?
I had a court case, but it was a good turnout, so I'm happy.
Good time. I'm happy you're happy. So obviously, like, one of the big things about you is that you are from the southeast.
Yeah.
So am I. But I think we're both proud Southeastians. So where did you originally sort of grow up, and when you first sort of started and whatnot? Like, tell us a bit about like your younger days, like growing up, all that kind of stuff.
So growing up, I was born in Samoa, but growing up, we came straight here to Australia, my family. From what we know, me and my cousin there, we grew up here, and we were like in the area in southeast. It was pretty much just our families that were the only Polynesians here.
Yeah.
Most of them, as you would know, everyone's from New Zealand, like they're coming to
originally,
and now they're coming over here now. So we're kind of like the first, and I'm pretty proud of that, eh?
Yeah.
And that's why I rep Cranbourne so hard, because that's where I reside from. That's where I come. That's where I grew up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we grew up in the southeast in Cranbourne, and
so when did you move from Samoa to?
So I was born in Samoa, and I was about 2 years old, and we moved straight here.
Yeah.
So all my life I've been here in Australia.
Yeah, cool. And always in Cranbourne?
Dandy, just the local areas.
Yeah, just always southeast part.
Yeah, mostly in Cranbourne as well I grew up.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And then like each year got different. There was more, minority area. Heaps of people from overseas started coming over.
Because now in the southeast, sort of Cranbourne, Hampton Park, all that sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Where else? Like Pakenham too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, and they're all Samoan mostly, yeah? Not like Tongans
mostly. Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
So there's a big, I guess, Pacific Island community.
And times have changed. Like, obviously, even, say, 5-6 years ago, I think that if you said Samoa, people would be like, oh, yeah, I know a guy who plays rugby there or something like that. Yeah. But now, sort of, Samoa it's very trendy to be Samoan at the moment.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. But like I said, we were the first. Like, I don't really know much people. Like,
yeah.
And then a lot of my family moved over, so it was a good thing to see. But, we've been here all our lives, so...
And so in the early days, you obviously went to school in the southeast and whatnot, primary school. What was it like being one of the only Samoans?
It was different.
Yeah.
It was not like those dramatic stories where it was racial.
Yeah.
No, it was all right. And I liked it. There was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But then like I said, I just met a lot more people come through, and as you can see, the community's getting bigger.
Yeah, 100% is.
Yeah.
So then, that was in your younger years. Did you play any sport or anything like
that? Basketball.
Yeah.
I was real different, eh?
Yeah.
Like
what about rugby?
Yeah, everyone played rugby. So I didn't grow up in New Zealand. I grew up in Australia. I didn't play rugby. I played basketball. So I was real on my own kind of buzz. Me and my family.
Yeah.
So we're real different to the rest of them. And then I started making music. I guess. And now, as you can see, everyone's making music.
Yeah, it's so carried on. But I think they're like, tell me if I'm right or wrong here, but Islanders in general, they have sort of a musical background. Like they are.
Yeah, very strong.
Yeah, okay.
Musical background. I think it all started. It was always part of the culture, but our culture really emphasized on religion.
Yeah.
So Christianity was real big in our culture. Like to be someone.
Still is, though, yeah.
Yeah. Still is. So Christianity was real big for us. So I guess that's where everyone started singing. To be honest, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I started singing. That got me into music more, and then I started rapping, experimenting in different things. So yeah, that's where it all began. To be honest.
Yeah, there you go. So like gospel stuff, is that because I know you got your own churches, yeah? Like Samoans have their own churches.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they do.
Where did you go to like a mixed one or?
I'm Mormon. So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of like
most Samoans are, but yeah.
Not
really.
Kind of. Oh, it's different.
What's the one? Like I might be a bit naive here,
Yeah.
but what's the one where they wear like they're kind of like Polynesian dress? Yeah.
Oh, you can wear that to any.
Okay, so that's not a certain.
Yeah,
religious
that's a culture thing.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
so
Okay.
that's just
And then
like-
you wear that to church, though.
Yeah, everyone wears it to
Yeah.
church. Whatever religion they go to, they wear that. But no, I don't think everyone's just Christian.
Yeah. Or some
Even
form of
Mormons, we're
religious.
Christian.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's just it's part
And
of our
so
culture. We're real proud
Is
of that.
the Mormon sort of background like has that got the gospel kind of stuff? to it, or
No,
not
it was
really?
real reverent.
Yeah.
It wasn't really loud. No drums.
Yeah.
No,
So no kind of music and whatnot.
guitars. Nah.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
there was heaps of singing, piano, if most, but that's about it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was real straightforward. No over the top loud.
So was it like was that weird growing up, sort of being a Mormon Samoan, like sure, and there was no one there, like.
Yeah.
Was it hard for people to understand sort of your background, your religious sort of beliefs and
Yeah,
stuff like that?
it was real hard
Especially
for
Australians, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it was real hard for people
You
to
never talk to our
understand me.
cousins.
Yeah, and it was real hard for me to understand them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If anything, like all I knew was this, and this.
yeah, and they're doing a complete different
Yeah,
thing.
and then everyone they just opened my eyes to
Yeah.
a whole different world, and I guess that's where.
So when the other Samoans sort of started coming in, like the other family members and different families and whatnot,
Yeah.
was that like a breath of fresh air, or because obviously you do hang around with
At the beginning,
Yeah.
to be honest, it was like, hey, yeah, like I feel a lot more comfortable. But then a lot kept coming over, and then it just like I like it distant now. Like
Yeah.
I like to be by myself. and
Yeah.
I like my family to be away from our community. Nothing
Yeah.
against that. I'm one proud Samoan, but things have gone south.
gets a bit trouble sometimes.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Does.
And then like the high school days, you were sort of playing basketball still, singing, whatever.
Yeah.
How'd you go at school? Were you good or?
I was alright. I've been expelled from like 3 different schools. I went to Lyndhurst, I went to Hallam, I went to Cranny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was alright. I was a good kid.
But you're getting expelled, but
Yeah.
a good
I was
kid,
that alright,
good Mormon
sitting
kid.
sitting on the fence kind of kid, But no, it was good. Growing up in high school was alright.
Yeah.
It was real laid back.
Yeah, that's just a weird one, which I'm gonna bring up because a lot of the people listen to my stuff have that dance background. But you and Joel Fletcher
Yeah.
were good friends back in the days.
Yes, we were like best of mates.
Yeah.
So like I said, there was no Samoans there, so like the first white kid that approached me would be my best mate.
And he's
So
like the
that was
whitest
him.
kid that's ever existed.
So he was like a beatboxer at the time.
Was he?
Really good, and he knew I could sing or barely sing at the time. So he was like, "Oh, you can sing." I was like, "Oh, beatbox," and that's how we got together and we were becoming really close.
No shit.
And that was year 7.
Yeah.
So that was the first year. So I was out in Lyndhurst and I met him.
I want him to keep
And it was
doing
buzzy
that.
as because my mate was like, "Oh, I went to this party, right?" And Joel Fletcher said he knew you. And I was like, "Joel Fletcher? I don't know Joel Fletcher because
Yeah.
that's not his real name."
Yeah, of course.
And then I buzzed out when it was this big time DJ coming out
Yeah.
the hood. I was like, I was buzzed. I was tripping balls.
Man,
I
that
was
they're like I've known Joel for fucking ever, like
Yeah.
legit. And I think I told you the story before. Like I went and bought decks from his dad's joint.
yeah, I think
Yeah, he was like 15. I swapped him like $1,000 and 2 gigs at this club, and he was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
And he was so keen, man. Like he was the keenest kid I've ever met.
Yeah,
and
he's
talented too. I think
he's
I
very
don't know, his
talented.
name was Hyperfunk back then.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, which sucked balls then, sucks balls now. It was
Shout
a
out to
typical
Joel.
typical 15-year-old kid name. Anyway, so then I remember it was one of my favorite stories. But I remember his old man called me because
Yeah.
he's like playing on the Friday. And he's
Yeah.
like, old man called the club or called me. I can't remember exactly. And he was like, Joel's got tape tomorrow. Like he can't play that gig. He can't play that gig. And I'm like, oh fuck, all right. And then Joel's like, no, I'm gonna come. And his dad's like, mate, like. Understand where I'm coming from? Like this kid's left school. He needs to go to tape. He's,
Yeah.
like, he's never gonna make nothing of this.
Yeah.
And then now Joel made something of that. he's living
Crazy,
large.
yeah.
His
'Cause
dad.
I've been to his house recently too, and I told his dad like, you must be proud now,
Yeah.
eh? And he's like, he was just. he
I
just
don't think
started
his dad
laughing.
expected it, but it happened and worked out. But yeah, his dad's definitely super
His
proud.
dad was
Trumpet
playing
player.
the trumpet player.
Yeah, yeah.
he was
Music
playing
in the
trumpet.
family.
Yeah, so he was born to do it.
But he kind of came back from that Hampton Park, and like I remember
Yeah.
going there because I'd grown up probably a bit close into the city, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, man, this is rough out here."
Yeah.
And not the best looking suburb. And then
Nah, it's
and then
not.
to see Joel come from what he originally did, like when I knew him when he was just hanging out with his dad and whatnot, to now,
Yeah.
I was like, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't super proud of the dude.
Yeah.
It's like it's so good to see, man. Yeah, and like
Yeah, it was crazy.
everyone, as you know, like it's when you grow up in those sort of areas, it's hard. Everyone's sort of against you.
Yeah, it's a
People aren't
small,
trying to
very
help you.
small, very small chance to make it out there.
Yeah, it's exactly it. And it's because I think that because everyone else is not doing well,
Yeah.
no one wants you to do
Yeah,
well.
exactly. I think that's the mentality over
Yeah.
here out in the burbs.
I tell you, in the birds, dude. Like before I lived here, I was in the country. Same thing, man. Like no one wanted to see anyone do well.
Yeah.
As soon as someone did well, everyone turned on them.
Yeah.
Which is the same sort of kind of vibe.
Kind of now.
Out here until you win.
Yeah, that's the experience. That's what I mean. Like everyone doesn't help you, but once you crack it, and they're getting support from overseas or somewhere else interstate,
then they
want to act like they know you. That's the whole gist of it.
Fuck. It's even doing what I was doing, like going up. It was like everyone was like, "What are you doing, bro? Like, get a real job. Fuck you, this, that."
Yeah.
And then when I did it, like, man, I told you, bro. Yeah. I was like, no, you didn't. You were like the least supportive people.
I hate that, eh? That's just where we live now.
Yeah, that's it. The other thing I was going to say is like, so when you were growing up in high school and whatnot, when did you start mucking around with music?
I think I was about 15 at the time. I was just like, I don't really listen to hip hop. Like I said, I was around Aussies and that. So I was like, I didn't know what hip hop was. You know, people from New Zealand would talk about Biggie Smalls and Tupac. I wasn't really into it. I couldn't get into it because that wasn't what was trending around here. It was like the mainstream rappers that were played here, like Ja Rule, Nelly, Ashanti. You know, the early 2000 kind of artists, Bow Wow and all that.
Yeah,
that was all the hip hop I could intake. Like that's all I heard.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I built myself on, and then I just started picking up the pen and having to crack at it myself.
Yeah. What motivated that though?
I don't know. I guess just the passion for music. I always loved it, like hip hop, rap, and watching the videos and like just inspired me. So. I don't know, and I still remember my first rap. I'm not going to spit it, but it's just the worst. My first ever rap, I can still remember.
Well, you got to start somewhere, don't you?
Just like, you got to do.
And so when you were doing it, were you like spitting the rhymes to your friends and whatnot?
Nah, because at that time, it was over exaggerated. Like if you were to rap, you just thought you were a gangster. Like it wasn't cool. Like if you just rapped in like, even if it was an Aussie accent, you just thought you were hard. Yeah. And like back in the day, that wasn't the world that we lived in. It is now, but back in the day, like if you thought you were the top, no one would like you. It wasn't. So rapping wasn't a thing. Like it was. So I was a bit embarrassed to get out there. But once I saw, a couple of artists here and there, that's what I thought. I'll get out.
Start taking it a bit more serious.
Yeah, start taking it a bit more serious and help push the movement.
So what did you do? Sort of sit? Do you reckon you sat on it for 3-4 years before you started?
I reckon I just built myself, like perfected the craft.
Rapping with the boys or whatnot?
Yeah, on the piece.
Yeah.
Most of the times. That's why now I hate the piece because everyone just wants to get in my ear and rap their verses. But yeah, back in the day, that's what it was, and it was just fun,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And when the more excitement that people gave me and appreciated what I was rapping about, the more I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So just keep feeding, and then I just wanted to do it.
Yeah, that's sick. So it's like, so you sort of sat on it for 4 years.
Yeah.
And then at what point? What was the sort of turning point?
I can't really.
Because what was your first song you released?
It's unknown to the world, but it would probably be like, you don't really know anyone in the industry. No one's a fan of hip hop, so I forgot what it was. I was doing covers of like Rick Ross, Drake, early Drake.
Yeah.
So like I was big, like Drake was my favorite rapper back in the day, Lil Wayne. So I was doing covers to their music, and I was just writing my own verses to theirs.
Yeah. Okay.
And it started off with there, and then I started.
Where were you releasing it?
Just on SoundCloud.
Yeah, and there you go.
I was the only it was just like I was young, and I was the only one doing it in my room. I don't know how it all went.
Yeah.
Process of releasing and all that. So I just did it for fun.
Yeah, cool. And then so you obviously got more involved in that hip hop culture. But tell me if I'm right or wrong here, but I know a couple of your boys are into dance and stuff, like the hip hop dance. Yeah. Were you into it too?
Yeah, I was dancing. So all of that, like hip hop,
kind of all comes together.
Yeah, that culture. Yeah, I took big places. Yeah, see, I was in like a dance crew, built my own dance crew, and I started dancing out of high school. I was actually dancing for a living out of high school.
No shit.
Yeah, making a living off it. So it was alright.
How?
Just teaching, touring interstate and teaching kids over there. We took place in competitions and placed very high, so we got our name out there, and everyone just wanted, to be choreographed.
So is that like b-boy stuff or different?
Nah,
I've seen some of the videos that.
Yeah, they do like hip hop. There's heaps of competitions out.
Yeah,
like World Champs.
And what you win money and what is it like?
Yeah,
that,
you do win money.
What's that fucking movie?
Step Up.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah,
It's nothing like that, but it's like that. Yeah. But yeah, I was real like. I don't know. Just anything I like to do, I did it.
What age were you doing that?
About 17, 18.
Yeah.
and I stopped at like 22.
How come? Just got over it?
Yeah, everyone knew me for the dancer, and I
Yeah.
knew that wasn't what I wanted to be known as. I wanted to be known as an artist.
Yeah.
I was rapping at the time, so I wanted to be known as like a rapper. I didn't.
It's
want
funny
to
because there's a lot of like, you look back at the early stages of like hip hop in Australia, like guys like Timbermatic even, Justice Crew,
Yeah,
blah, blah,
all
like
started there.
they've all got dance background.
Yeah, so
And
we used to
now-
compete against those guys.
No shit, really?
Yeah, so we knew them before they jumped off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there you go. It's kind of weird when you think about
yeah,
that.
like, and all the artists now, they're all dancers. Like, pretty much the dance industry are creating like a big amount of like numbers for artists now. Like,
What kind of guys?
Sfino, Planet Vegeta. Shout out to my boys in Sydney. Yeah, those guys are really popping off with Triple J and that. So, yeah, these guys are my best mates now.
Yeah.
And I've known them through dance. So
Yeah, no shit.
It built a lot of like network.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy. 'Cause
Yeah.
now everyone's doing music now. Now we can like.
But the
work
hip
together.
hop community, like hip hop dance, music, art, fucking graph, video, like
Yeah.
it all goes in, man. Like a lot of the guys that I knew early days that were into hip hop and sort of involved in yo-yo and stuff like that. They were just some of the most creative motherfuckers I've ever met.
Yeah, it's crazy, eh?
Well, because in the dance scene, we're sort of, I don't know, maybe like we like the dark rooms a bit
Yeah.
better. It's like, there's not, you don't get that creativity. Like you
Yeah.
do a little, but not as like heavily as the
Nah.
hip hop scene. And that's something that I was always kind of, I've had a lures to because I've always felt like I was creative and I just loved
Yeah.
watching what they do, man.
Yeah.
Like all those dudes that I grew up with and knew, they were like B-boys and stuff.
Yeah.
They're all fucking DJs, videographers, photographers. They're all like doing stuff
Yeah.
like, all over the place. Like
Everyone, yeah.
they just wanted to not go alongst the grain. Like they were very much similar to my brain. They just didn't want to
Yeah.
be normal. Yeah.
Surprising how many talented people there are. Like,
Yeah, and I think
you
it's
think they just do
worldwide.
one thing and then next minute they're doing
You
something
find out,
else.
But I think it's worldwide for whatever reason that hip hop sort of it goes hand in
100%.
hand, like that whole thing.
Yeah.
So then tell me, was it before or after this shit that you sort of started to get some legs as a musician?
I was a nobody. Like at the time, Lazy J and that did and Big Boy they did
So when's this, like 2012?
I can't remember. It's been a while. 2012, you reckon? Something like that. Earlier or later? Later. I was
So what, 2013, 14?
something like that. But they came on Australia's Got Talent.
Yeah.
And I seen him. And you know, I was releasing music and you know, I thought like to myself.
I actually watched that the other day and
Yeah.
the dude got stabbed or some shit.
Yeah,
like, real
yeah,
bad.
he did. But like I seen him and I was like, you know, I thought I had it too. Like I was telling myself, well, I'm good. Like I can do this.
So
and that.
prior to this, you weren't really doing a whole
No,
lot.
I wasn't doing a whole lot. And then I thought, what could I possibly do to get attention?
Yeah.
Like, what could I do? Like, because I've seen in Sydney, they're really good at networking. So one makes it, the other one makes it, and then they'll come
Help each other
together,
out.
help each other out. Whereas in my city, they don't do that.
Yeah.
So when I thought to myself, how am I supposed to get out there if no one's going to, you know, open
Help
up
you
a
out,
door?
yeah.
So I thought, I'll just give it a crack and start beefing with people because
Yeah.
I know people want to see tension.
But fuck, man,
And
like
everyone
that
wants to
this
know.
thing that happened, it's like anyone who knows you and knows the story, like they know. But like for people that don't, so I explain it. So Melbourne, he came out with like a diss rap against Sydney rapper, and it kicked off. And like,
Yeah.
and there's still now, like what was it, like 5-6 years ago, there's still
Yeah.
people now that hold grudge against this.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to go into it because
so
I know the
crazy.
real story behind it, but people seem so passionate about this
Yeah.
shit.
And that's
Sometimes it feels like it's roadblocked you a little.
Yeah, 100%. Everyone thinks they know everything. Like it's crazy because they just think, yeah, this guy, and they state it like it's a fact.
Yeah, that's it.
And
Yeah.
they have no idea
Like
who I am.
encyclopedias of,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
this shit that
Wikipedia.
they-
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Wikipedia of the rap game.
it's
but
crazy,
They
'cause-
live in fucking Uluru.
and this is the first time I've opened up about it. So
Yeah.
so this is the facts, and it's just like that's all it was. Like everyone thought it was a real diss. Like I hated the guy. I didn't know the guy from Bar Soap.
So you and Lazy talks?
Yeah, we talked after and we
Yeah.
thought, let's do a tour off this. You know, we're
Yeah,
making good stuff out of this. Everyone's paying attention. Let's create into something better. We didn't get along to it, obviously, but
Yeah, I remember
the
that. I remember like a
opportunity
year,
was there.
year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I feel like he's sort of not doing as much either though at the moment.
yeah, he's pretty low key. But like I said, he's releasing music. It's just not popping off, and the only
Yeah.
reason why is because it's just music.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like sometimes you just need a bit of push.
A story and all this
yeah,
sort of jazz.
sometimes you do. Well,
There's
that's
more
what,
to it, for sure,
Yeah, like the
100%.
shows that you see, Australia's Got Talent and all this. They need stories behind them to back
Yeah,
them
true
up.
that.
you
That's
know?
good. That's a good point.
Yeah, so everyone.
So yeah, with it, so the dissing, it was a lot of it wasn't sort of, I guess, what's the word? Like it was not real. It was sort of,
Nah.
it was made up
Yeah.
as fiction to
Yeah.
like create a better story to help you guys kind of get known or put yourselves on the map.
Yeah, so it started as I was releasing it on my phone. I didn't have any like videographer to do my stuff, so just at home, and I played my phone and I started rapping, and I was getting numbers off it, you know. And the secret to that was just the description, you know, write something
Yeah.
that'll capture, you know, someone's attention. So I was getting all right numbers at the time. So I was like, oh, you know what? this is going good. I've got to find something else to put me up to the next level.
Sure.
So I thought I'd take a shot at everyone in the scene. And it was unfortunate because no one was in the scene here. It was just it was just Sydney and Brisbane, and like, everyone knew artists was from there. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to take a shot at them and just say, I think I'm better than you.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? That's what it actually was. So it wasn't really fake, because I still do, but it was kind of like a statement, like, you know, Melbourne's got potential here too. So, and that's what I'm always trying to drill into people. Like, there's so much potential, so much, you know, creativity here that it should have been noticed. At the time, there wasn't noticed. So that's why I took a stab at it, and everyone just bit on it, and I ran with it. And so, like, there wasn't really a beef. Everyone's like,
so nothing ever kicked off. Like, there was
nothing. There was, if you listen back to it, there was nothing saying like. But then it got personal because he started rapping about more personal things. Yeah. But that's what it is in diss tracks.
Well, at the end of the day, that's the thing is, like, it's always kind of amazed me why everyone gave so much a fuck about this. Yeah. Because the reality of it is, like, people battle each other. Yeah. It's like they legitimately
there's no line to it.
It's a massive fucking thing of hip hop. Like, these dudes go, they pay each other out, another dude pays each other out, and then that's how they win. And there's like guys like Eminem, and like even in Australia, look at like 360 and Kurza, like that's how they sort of started. Yeah, like, that's the thing. And then you kind of have a crack at doing a similar thing on YouTube instead of there, and everyone fucking loses their mind. Like, it's hard to understand. Maybe they don't understand that underlying hip hop culture. I don't know, but I feel like there's always been that sort of backlash to it when it doesn't make sense, because this has happened fucking since the beginning of hip hop.
It's crazy. And it's not so much to talk now, but like that's the first thing everyone talks about when they see me for the first time. Like, and I guess that's why I was the most hated rapper, because everyone just thought you're the shit. You know,
but what's wrong with that if you do?
Yeah, I know, but that's every rapper. Like, that's how they're supposed to be.
Well, it's even like every sports person.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, that's what I mean.
If you're like an MMA fighter and you don't think you're the best, and good fucking luck.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like the very popular fighters or like athletes are the ones that know that. They
it's weird how like different things, like in certain, if you're Usain Bolt and you say you're the best, obviously he's the best.
Yeah.
But it's like it's okay to be arrogant in certain things. Yeah. But if you're like arrogant AFL player, everyone hates you. Or basketball player,
I know.
Or if you're an arrogant rapper.
Pretty much.
It's like, then if you're an arrogant MMA fighter or runner, then that's sweet.
Yeah, that's all
it's
right.
Like, there's like unwritten laws.
They close the doors on some and then they open the doors on the other.
Oh, that's right, if he does that. So so the diss stuff kind of, I guess, started that kickoff of your career, and then it kind of went back and forth for how long?
I'm not too sure. Maybe 3-4 years.
Fuck, did it really? Wow. Just back forth.
Yeah. Oh, no. Sorry. Oh, the back and forth was like, it was within the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just going back and forth. You know, and it was pretty crazy because I'd go to the shopping centre and grocery store or stuff, and then like kids would be like, "Oh, you know, well done, you're representing Melbourne." It was pretty buzzy. Like, and this is just after I'd release it. I go to the mall, and then everyone would be like, "Oh, when are you releasing it?" And I'm just like, "Oh, peep it now, it's out." And they're like, "No way!" Like, And so it was pretty buzzy. It was like the talk. I even flew to New Zealand to talk about it because New Zealand was taking place in it too. So, if anything, it was just to push hip hop. Yeah. If anything, and not obviously 90% of people didn't understand that, but not everyone's going to understand.
They're still invested in it, so it did push.
So well, that's the main thing. As long as they talk about it, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah. So after that blew over, then I guess you try to make yourself, establish yourself as like an artist that wasn't just a diss rapper or rap battle, whatever you want to call it.
So I was still real new to it. Yeah. Like so I did that, and then I released the diss, and everyone was talking about it, but I was still like, I don't know where I'm going with this. That was my mentality. Because I had no experience in music, in the industry, and I didn't know what to expect.
And I guess that's the thing is, like, I think a lot of people don't look at is guys like yourself, Lazy, even that little Jace dude and stuff. You guys were paving it. Like, it hadn't been done before. Yes, there'd been Aussie rap, like Hilltop Hoods and whatnot, but I guess that sort of, I use the term like lightly, but that we had that immigration wave, but no one had really come through and done it. If you weren't like white, suburban Australian, no one else was rapping yet. So you guys were the first sort of non-hilltop hoodie guys to do it. You know, so you were creating something that hadn't been done yet. So I guess there was no rules to like say, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. Like blah 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 blah. Like everyone's just having a crack and seeing what worked and what didn't.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and then you made your first tune as a solo artist. What was that? What would you say that was? Brown Cycle or something like that?
Yeah, like I said, it was just covers. Yeah, you're right. You know more than you know more than me, mate. So Brown Cycle was just covers, like just to put content out. Again, I was real new, so I had no idea what to expect. And I was just like finding my legs at it. Like I didn't know what to do. I was just releasing what I was releasing. But then the demand for me was like more consistent, and it was like, bro, drop another track, and it was like. Pretty much felt like it was every week someone wanted me to drop a track, and I couldn't keep up with it. Yeah, like I rushed into it too quick.
Yeah. Did you fall out of love with it because of that?
Sometimes I feel like I did, but I was always keep writing. But yes, I wouldn't say I fell out of love. I just stepped back and just I need to take my time.
Yeah, for sure. Get better.
I don't want to put out rubbish.
Yeah. And so, like, looking back at that old stuff, what's your vibe on it? Like, what do you still like it?
Oh, cringe, mate.
Because I noticed you deleted some of your YouTube shit, and I was like, fuck, man, I like that stuff.
I know, and I felt bad for all, like, because I just, sometimes the hate gets the most of me. Yeah. I just think about the hate, and I just like, nah, delete this, I don't want these guys. But then all the supporters, and that's what I feel like, and I feel real shit about.
Yeah, fair.
Because everyone's like, you know, boy, this was my favorite song. There's how many times where, like, and I was just like, fuck.
Well, even I noticed it. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
What did you do that for?
Yeah. But yeah, I just felt like I had to. It was just different. I took a different way, a different route, I guess.
Yeah.
I wanted to close that chapter in my life.
Do you sort of see now, like, obviously that's the older stuff, and a lot of it was kind of almost motivational a little bit. Yeah. I know with, what was that one? The Poly one where it's like the film crew's got the dudes, all the young kids, and he's like yelling at them.
Oh, I don't even know what that song's called anymore. It's been that long, but I know which one you're talking about. Just encouraging young Poly.
Yeah,
kids.
It was like a young Polynesian thing. So you sort of went from like, I guess, the dish stuff, and then you kind of like some of your other stuff. Even the Brand Cycle, in my opinion, was like almost sort of, I guess it was like there was a lot of encouragement to it. And it was almost motivational, and it was like you're talking to the Polynesian people. Yeah.
I feel like I was real, because I felt like I blew up just in that space. Yeah, just with my own people. That's what I thought. So I really try to.
I guess at that point though, you probably did though. Like, the thing is, like, you look at, and obviously now things are kicking off in that poly movement, but it's like I don't feel like people knew what was going on 3-4 years ago. Like the guys that listen to stuff like 1-4 and whatnot now. Yeah. There's no way they know the history.
They don't.
They just be like, oh, this came out of nowhere. Like they don't realize that there was years and years of other dudes doing stuff beforehand.
There's foundation laid before any of this. But even 1-4, like I remember 1-4, not 1-4, like the artist, like I think it was his manager I knew from, because I know some of the boys from Sydney. Even them, like, sent me some tracks back in the day. And I just didn't get around to it. But like, I've heard their old stuff too that no one's ever heard before.
Was it drill stuff or no?
Nah, it was it was still street stuff. I wouldn't say it was drill. Yeah. But then I guess they just excelled. And sometimes I listen back to it, and then I listen to the stuff now. I'm just like, how did they do that? Like,
yeah, but like you don't come out of nowhere,
evolution of how they came up. Yeah. Like everyone thinks they just popped off out of nowhere, but there's been years and years and years behind the scenes that no one ever knows, that where it was just like, I can't believe this is 1-4. The very first stuff that I heard from them was way different.
It's just hard work, but obviously.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, because now, obviously they don't have ghostwriters, but like, they're really, like, I rate these guys. Yeah. And I'll tell you now, I don't really rate much rappers. Yeah. Man, over here anyway, but these guys I love. I can listen to them every day.
Yeah. It's weird, when I first started listening to them, I was like, I sort of liked the videos better. Yeah. And then it got to a point where I was like, I kind of don't mind this. And now it's, fuck, man, I flog it flat out.
Yeah. It's the same.
Yeah, like, and then I cannot get certain verses out of my head. Like that in the beginning, that spin in my bar, ready for eating my bar. Yeah, I had that in my head for like 2 months.
These guys are laughing because every drink up or every time we're just saying it. You know? Like it's become part of our slang. What's up, my bar? Yeah. Everyone's just saying it. You know?
They kind of formed their own little culture thing.
Yeah, no, they actually did.
Yeah.
They really did.
So from that, you were doing the sort of cult. I'm going to say culture because it was sort of cultural. Yeah. So cultural sort of motivational stuff, and then you dropped your EP. And then that was the shift where you changed. Like, it was like when you did the anthem and whatnot. Yeah. And it feels like forever ago, because this shit, like, this whole last 8 months, 9 months of all these things, like, blowing up, that feels like it's been going forever. But the reality is, there was this shit going forever beforehand. Yeah. When you did that, like, with that shift, like, what was the reason why? Like, what made you kind of think about taking that shift and going, like, on that more street angle? Or
everyone thought, I don't know. I was, like, just felt real orientated with, like, my people, and I was amongst a lot of kids like from my little brothers, you know, my little brothers hanging around different kids, and I just saw them up to mischief. So like I was trying to direct him, you know, and then I don't know where it came from, but I just get inspired by different things in life. Yeah. A lot of people think it's fake and that, but like, that's what my music comes from, inspiration from experiences that I go through.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
I can't just make stuff up. So like I said, that was a phase I was going through, like empowering our people, to like this phase now where I've become involved into other things that I didn't think I was going to be involved in. But that EP, in between was like long breaks.
Yeah.
That's how I slowly died out.
Yeah,
I wasn't consistent.
Because like even when I started to talk to you, like we sort of met each other.
Yeah.
You hadn't released anything for like 9 months.
Nah, and like months and months and months, to the point where I'm even surprised if anyone knows me. Like, people still know me here and there in Melbourne and that, but because of the hype that was. But like, I'm surprised now because I haven't released anything that people still. That's how bad I was. Like I said, I just rushed into it, not knowing what I was getting myself into. There was a high demand, and then I just buckled.
Do you regret taking that time off?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I felt like I knew what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
The music industry is cutthroat.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And that's why all these new artists and new rap groups are gonna obviously experience that. There's a lot more harder than just the limelight.
Yeah, for sure.
Behind the scenes.
And you've had sort of two resurgences, I'd say.
Mm.
So the first one was when you were doing the diss stuff. You were doing shows and whatnot around that time.
Yeah.
Why did that stop and slow down? Because you weren't releasing music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
And then the second time was when you dropped the next EP.
Yeah.
And you had the early success that these other guys weren't having.
Yeah.
Obviously, you supported Kid Ink.
Yeah.
Tiger. Did you support Tiger too?
Yeah.
When was that?
I forgot. It wasn't the last time it came. It was like maybe the one before that.
So that was before you did that.
And it was huge. It was one of my favorites.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it was a good experience.
And then you did Tony Yayo, Lloyd Banks.
Yeah.
And then one of the big shows was that one in Sydney.
Yeah, Jumanji. Oh, there was Jumanji Fest as well.
Oh, you did Jumanji Fest?
Lil Wayne, Wale, and Lil Wayne's my idol, so I was real stoked about that.
And where was that, in Sydney?
No, I was here. I was supposed to go. Yeah, I was supposed to go to Sydney. I just let it go because it pissed me off. They cut my set short. Anyways, but yeah, I did that, and then there was that.
I don't even remember what it was called, but it was like in front of 10,000 kids.
Yeah.
That was with Horizon, who's another local boy.
Yeah, that was crazy. Everyone was off their chops.
Was that the biggest show you've performed in front of?
I feel like it wasn't probably not the biggest. The Tiger one was pretty big too, but it was the more energetic.
Yeah.
Everyone was just like, they didn't even. It was buzzy because they didn't even know my shit.
Yeah.
These new kids on the block, like, my shit's old. And when I just pumped it, and everyone was just
getting into it,
vibing with it, and that was I loved it.
Yeah, for sure. So what would be your favorite moment in the music stuff you have done, like shows or music or whatever? Like, do you have like a highlight?
Yeah, performing.
Yeah,
I love performing. I feel like a lot of artists lack that nowadays.
And so, do you get nervous before?
Nah. Oh, before? No. So, like I said, I was a dancer. So
yeah, for sure.
Being on stage was like bread and butter for me. I loved it. You know, So taking the mic was something I was prepared to do when I was a dancer because I wanted to be known as this. So every time I got the opportunity, I just took it both hands and ran.
Jumped at it. And because obviously with those two times, so you had your early days, Jumanji, Tiger, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it dropped off because you weren't releasing music.
Yeah.
And then you kind of went back up again, so you had like a second resurgence.
Yeah.
And then you sort of played those shows with whatever. Why do you think then, because you stopped releasing music, or is the secondary part of this is that you're obviously doing your accent stuff?
Yeah.
The American stuff. At the time, everyone was, so it wasn't just you.
Yeah.
And then there was that poly movement kind of came through. This is, again, early this year, but it feels like fucking years ago it's all happened. When that happened, did you feel as though like that's what slowed it down because you got so concentrated on what was going on right now?
Yeah, 100%, I reckon. Yeah, there was just so much in my life that was going on.
Yeah,
not just within music.
Yeah.
It was like family stuff, it was street stuff, and like it just fucked my brain.
Yeah.
So but it was that time. Yeah, you're right. It was at that time where everything just cooked me, and I thought, this music isn't a priority right now.
Well, yeah, because I remember like obviously we were talking a lot.
Yeah.
And then things were just going up.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was on this wicked
building.
run.
Yeah, it was building.
And then it was
up.
just like it felt like you just got really distracted.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about you getting distracted and like what happened, or?
I don't know what was going on at the time, to be honest. Like the road of me being in the music industry is so long now.
Yeah.
That like I don't even know time frames of what happened at this and that, what I was going through and what. it's just been a shambles. My music career is everywhere, to be honest.
Yeah, it kind of builds.
Only because it hasn't been prioritized to the fullest.
And it's hard too, because the
Yeah,
reality of it is that to do something that no one really done before, even
Yeah.
it's like, how can you make a full-time living out of it?
Yeah.
You're trying to pave something.
And because I was on my own, like I didn't
Yeah,
know, like I didn't know anything. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah.
Then the accent thing. That's another one massive thing that people talk about.
That's
It's a massive talking point. So everyone, they would love it or hate it. Everyone had an opinion on it for the last.
Oh fuck, as they do.
Then you dropped it.
Yeah, so the accent, so like obviously starting out, I was rapping in an American accent.
Yeah.
And that was the cool thing to do. Everyone was.
Yeah, like 100% they were.
Everyone was.
Yeah.
Except for the Australians. They were real, like, they were into their grime
Beer
and real
barbecue
underground.
sort of
Yeah, so I was listening to like them all the time too. But like, I was a fan of American music.
Yeah.
So that's what obviously I'm going to implement into my
But even you look at like,
artistry.
I know Scribe didn't do it, but even Savage did that.
Yeah.
So it was
And a
like,
lot of
that was
people
the
did
vibe
that.
back then.
1-4 did that.
Yeah.
And people don't know that.
Yeah,
1-4 did that. And I was, when they sent the track, they were spitting American accents.
Yeah.
It wasn't real tough. They didn't do it as good as I did it, but it was like, you could see them, their inspiration came from that.
Yeah.
And as it does for a lot of artists here. But I don't know, as it evolved here in Australia, our accent kicked in and came real strong, just like UK. And I feel like that's where the inspiration came from.
You can tell me more if you don't than I would know. But even like guys like Pistol Pete and Enzo and stuff, they were doing American accents.
Yeah, like
now they've dropped it too.
Even Hooligan Hefts, I could go.
Yeah.
I got the whole list. Like,
But it's weird that everyone concentrates on. You seem to be the focal point of that whole accent dropping thing.
I don't know. I think it takes place just because I was one of the first islanders to come out and like start like this.
Yeah.
And everyone, like, when they were using the American accent, it wasn't really like as strong as mine.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like that's why it was easy for them to change.
And it could also be one of the more popular ones.
Maybe.
So you're more popular for that sound, like.
Yeah.
And then you drop it.
Yeah, and then I drop it. To me, I like whatever I like. I just implement that.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, a lot of people try to cut me off like, why are you trying to dish out now? Because 1-4, Hooligan Hefts, Pistol Pete do it. I don't really care what anyone says. Like, if I like to do this, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And like at the time, it was cool to do. Like, I was rapping in the American accent about my country, like Southeast and like Cranbourne, where I was raised, and the struggles we went through here. And so I've always held like if not just my city, my country, and like how proud I was of Australia. In it just with an American accent. So when our accent was popular, fucking oath I'm going to fucking use the
Jump
accent.
on it, yeah. And that's the thing is, I think that people don't realize is that it wasn't popular.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you had done that back 4 or 5 years ago.
Everyone would just laugh at you and probably tease you because you sound bogan. Or too bogan, you know what I mean? So like, that's what it was. Like, obviously, now that our things are cool, I didn't make it cool. I don't know who. To be honest, I don't know who made the Australian. I know Cursor 360, all the OGs of Australian hip hop.
Yeah, but I feel like I feel like it's two different scenes, yeah. Like there's like the barbecue stuff, then there's like that more. It's true, but that's what it is. And then there's sort of like that grimy Cursor, and he's had his own struggles, dude. Like he's been battling for 10 years, but it's like Cursor, TKO, all those sort of like white dudes.
Yeah.
White kind of commission flat rap. And then you've got the other stuff, which is that drill inspired, or like, it's not even, it's rap, drill, fucking whatever you want to call it. So there's almost three sort of scenes now, where there used to be one, now there's three.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, like the first time I heard it was 1-4. That was the first time I heard people using Aussie accents, and they had that kind of Polynesian twang to it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh sweet, like this doesn't have that boganness about it, or like that. Even me, man, like I'm a white commission flat born and raised. Like, I'm from a long line of scumbags.
100%.
And it's like I couldn't get into that cursor stuff. So, but it's a similar story, and you can understand it more. And they're talking about places that I knew, and I'm like, not that I saw things like this when I was younger, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't sound as like bogan. Yeah. So I don't know, the accent thing, you've sort of changed over to it.
Yeah, so I changed over to it, and then everyone just like, I released it on Instagram on my following, and then everyone just like, it just captivated everyone. Everyone's like, why are you biting? Why are you doing this? And everyone just started taking the hate. But again, like attention, whatever the talk is, as long as it's about me, it's good for me.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's hard to understand that.
Do you reckon it's the same people who hating you before was hating, or do you reckon you
probably
lost or gained
more
fans?
I don't know fans, but viewers and listeners, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's all I care about. But like, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. But yeah, I changed it because like I just thought I have to represent.
And it made sense for me too.
Yeah, it made sense. You know, everyone's doing it now. So yeah, I did bite on the trend.
Yeah, for sure. So like in there, we've kind of touched the base on it a few times now, but like the whole poly movement in general, like it's not even just music, it seems at the moment. Like even Bonds have a campaign with Polynesian at the moment.
Yeah, I
and, like,
saw that. That was crazy.
Rugby, the whole lot. Like that whole poly movement that's sort of blown up this year.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference between what it was before, like what it was before to now? Like, now that everything's sort of fucking gone bang and that every single rapper is Polynesian, like everyone popular is.
Yeah.
Seeing that happen, what's the difference of the struggles before and after? And I guess you kind of fell in the middle of it, so it's sort of you're the only person who can really talk about it.
I don't know about the struggles. I feel like everyone's winning now.
Yeah.
Whether it be in sports or music or anything. I think people are making huge statements now, and that's something I can only relate to because obviously I'm Polynesian.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just real. It's real inspiring. It's real encouraging to me.
So prior though, when you were Polynesian, doing obviously the American accent, whatever, but was it harder because of that? You think or no?
Nah.
It just kicked off right time, right place, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Cool. So I guess this is another one. Is obviously since that whole, there's been a lot more artists from Polynesian backgrounds, like 1-4, HP Boys, Hooligan Hefts, blah, blah, blah. Like obviously I'm guessing you've got some history with those dudes across the board. But have you worked with them before? Have you talked to them before? Like what's the sort of stories
There's
there?
been heaps of because obviously these artists know who I am just from the get-go. Like, these guys were fans, of not just, I'm not talking about fans of me, but fans of hip-hop, just like I was.
Yeah.
So everyone was tuning into what's kicking off. And at the time where I was kicking off back in the day, that's how they know me. And so like if I'm talking to them, they know who I am, which is real good because like if I wanted to get back into music, they are, they hook up and collaborate. But I know some of them and I don't get along with some of them. Yeah, most of them are alright.
Who's that?
We're supposed to release with Hooligan Hefts. Yeah. He obviously went in after that. We were organising our track, which was exciting because he was popping off too. And he got locked up. So that didn't go through. Pistol Pete in that we were supposed to release, but then we just got busy with life. Yeah. He had a kid. So it was real like I said, finding that balance is real hard. And then like 1-4, I don't know them, but I know their boys. Yeah. Some of their boys. So there's like my foot in the door for all of them. Yeah. And then HP. Those are I don't get along with that.
Yeah, so we'll probably go into that a little bit. So they're obviously from the southeast. You're from the southeast.
Yeah, we're all from the southeast.
You'd sort of hope that everyone gets along, but unfortunately that's not the case.
Real unfortunate, yeah.
And there's that whole thing I wanted to ask about was there's a general consensus that they sort of jumped in. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube and that. Like, is it true? Like, what's the story behind that?
So the story, I'm pretty sure everyone wants to know because I haven't really opened my mouth about it. I've been real quiet. So the story behind that is, it wasn't HP. It was some boys that I knew. They were my boys. Yeah. And an incident happened. I don't want to get into that. I want to get more into this HP beef. But, it wasn't them. That's why I saw they had a DME from Sydney, flew and done an interview with them. They didn't want to talk about it because they knew that wasn't them. They didn't want to say it wasn't them, but they knew that they didn't do that to me. Yeah. And they're not, the thing I hate is they're not telling everyone that it wasn't them.
But why do you think that happened? Like, where's that confusion come from?
It was from one of their members. He's always had a grudge against me. I don't know. Everyone asks, how come you beef with HP? I can't answer that. Yeah. They can answer that because I didn't have beef with HP. They beefed with me. Yeah. And if you beef with me, I've only forced to beef with you. Yeah, yeah. So like, I feel like there was beef before that. And when everyone was saying HP jumped me, because I was talking shit about their beef, so-called beef, everyone just thought that was the link. That was the link, and they just ran with it. I don't know if they ran with it, but I didn't say they didn't do it. So that's what pissed me off. But like I said, what I was talking to you before, it's like I knew HP growing up. Like I'm a Mormon, and they're Mormon too. Our parents went to the same churches, so I don't know where this made-up beef came from. And I think it just came from when I kicked off. He was doing music at the time, one of the members there.
Which member, if you don't?
It was on it, HP on it. His name's Tino. So I was at the barber shop, and my mate was cutting my hair. And it's like, my mate, he's making music now. And this is the first time I heard Aussie rap. And obviously he was inspired by Aussie rap. So
or Samoans doing it, or just in general?
Polynesians
doing it.
Polynesians taking place in Aussie rap with the accent. So I listened to it and I was like, I haven't seen this guy for years. Yeah, we grew up together in the same church, but I haven't seen him for years. This shit's going to pop off. Yeah. I already knew it off the bat. That I even messaged him after I got my car and said, oi, we need to link up. I can help you boost your stuff up. And he must have had it in his mind. Like he already knew he was going to crack it, which he did. And that's probably why he ignored it, but he seen me. So after that, when I messaged him, like, we should get together, you got mean music. He seen me and I just knew from there was some sort of tension. He must have thought I was this shit. And when I was popping off, that he had nothing to do with me, that I was taking on responsibility of representing my hood, which is neighbours to his hood, and that I was pretty much the face of Southeast for Polynesians. He must not like that. To this day, I don't know what his problem is, but everyone knows he has a problem.
Yeah.
And so that was the issue there.
So the other members are you cool with, or you don't really talk to them?
They don't want to. I don't have anything to like. I know Samoa. His name's Samoa, the big one.
Yeah.
One with the husky voice. Good kid.
MWayZ, man.
Bro, MWayZ.
Sounds like Biggie Smalls.
MWayZ is bro, good people, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. And like I told you before,
How do you get a nickname like Samoa?
That's his actual name.
Oh, legit. Fuck, there you
go. His rapper name's MWayZ,
Yeah.
but his name's Samoa.
There you go.
From what everyone like, because we're growing up, we're real close.
Is that a common name?
Nah.
I'm gonna call my next kid Australia.
We have funny names in our culture. I don't know what's the deal there, but yeah. So he's a really good guy. Like even YJ, good. Like I used to see these guys because that barbershop. My brother used to work at Hampton Park.
I knew that, yeah.
So I was always there, and I was always showing face.
And Cranbourne and Hampton Park are like they connect, yeah.
We're neighbours.
Yeah,
and there was always tension there because we were the biggest Polynesian suburbs in the southeast. The biggest probably in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Cranbourne and HP. So there was always a bit of tension between, and like from our OGs, like the olders, you probably don't understand what I'm talking about, but like there was kind of tension from like our older generation. The tension got handed down to me. So like the 7 is where I'm from, Cranny, and they're the 6 obviously.
Yeah.
So there was always tension there. And then our generation kind of made it easy because we knew, like I said, we don't know where it came from, but there was always this tension. But then we lived in Hampton Park, me and my boy Jace.
Yeah.
And we're one of the OG Hampton Park boys.
Yeah,
the oldest. So we're roommates, like we're best of friends, you know what I mean? So we don't know, then the youngins, which is the HP boys now, have just sparked this beef.
But there's youngins again after that, because they've got
gang
ties and stuff.
So they're youngins, and then there's youngins after that. They're trying to live up to the name. Though.
Yeah, so it's because I know that it was being in the Herald Sun and stuff lately. Is that HP boys NGS or some shit?
Yeah.
The African gang?
That Afghan.
But I know that's not the guys who are rapping. It's like they're ones under.
I don't think he's affiliated with the HP boys that everyone knows.
Yeah.
I think he just lives in Hampton Park.
Who's that?
The Afghan that had the beef.
No, not that dude. I'm talking about. So it was being in Herald Sun. Is that HP boys and I think it's called NGS, like an African gang, and they've been like stabbing and attacking each other for like whatevs.
I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure that they're like what you're saying, like they're the elders of those young boys running them up. Yeah,
maybe.
Kind of not related. I'm going off on a tangent, but yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of grew up in Hampton Park and Cranbourne.
Yeah,
and that's
I grew up in Cranbourne, but when I was like not too long ago, a couple of years ago, we lived in Hampton Park.
Yeah,
and so the beef kind of was all right. Like us two and the OG Hampton Park kind of built that bridge.
Yeah, and
like we'd always see those Hampton Park boys. So it was kind of got a bit better. And then like these youngins come up and just sparked it out of nowhere again.
So for me, it's hard to understand because like to be totally honest, I'd never ever heard anyone yell at their postcode.
Yeah. Until
I saw Samoans doing it at the front of Empire.
Yeah.
That's huge, man. And it was actually your brother, and he was like fucking going 7-7 or whatever. This dude was like 6-6. I was like, the fuck are these guys talking about? And then I'm like, what? And then Clay was like, oh, they're yelling postcodes. I was like, pardon, what? So Clay Amatagi is like a Samoan. I'm going to call him a legend.
He is pretty much a role model for us.
Yeah, for sure. And in our industry, like my industry, the music, dance sort of stuff, everybody knows him because he's done doors for since day dot.
Yeah,
and he's got plenty of crazy stories, and I hope to get him on here one day.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was the first time I saw it, and I was like, the fuck, like what's this about? And then that was probably I don't know, maybe like a year before this music stuff kicked off, and everyone's like 7-7, 6-6. Like, what's the go with that? Like, is there like? They're not gangs, obviously. They're people.
No, they're just postcodes.
And whatnot. Yeah.
I feel like the same thing's happening in Sydney.
Yeah. Again, why do people seem to be getting so attached to that? Like,
I don't know. I think it's always been like.
Has it always been like that, or no?
Not. Oh, for us, yeah, kind of. It has been for us, but like even in the States, you know.
Yeah, I know it's like that.
Blocks, yeah. But I think like I don't know where it came from. It was always like that. Where you're from, you need to be proud of. Like, obviously.
Do you think this goes back to like that whole tribe mentality in like Samoa?
I think so.
I feel like for me it's hard, and I know for Clay, like I've had like very lengthy conversations. He's like, if everyone could just get fucking along, we could take this shit over.
And I tell you now, that was my like. Obviously, if you listen to my music, that was my primary like
aim at the start.
That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah,
like. I hate seeing my own people fight my own people.
But why did they? Because I feel like it seems to be like maybe more now because they're in the limelight.
Yeah.
But it feels like there's just always people fighting each other. Like like there's like Hefts fighting 1-4.
Yeah.
1-4, 21 districts. Like you guys HP boys. It's like
it's just I think that's downfall for our culture or
Yeah.
our Polynesian people is that there's a lot of jealousy, a lot of pride.
Yeah.
There's too much pride, I think. Even sometimes myself, I figure there's too much pride within myself sometimes.
Yeah.
And something I like to change because I don't like rolling with the rest of my people when they do like embarrassing shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, that was my incentive, was to try and make sure that, you know, we all got along, and it just it could never happen. There's always that one person that spark it up and it'll just go through.
Do you feel like it ever will happen?
If it was, nah.
Yeah.
There's too much egos.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you now, there's too much heavies. Everyone wants to be gangster now.
Yeah.
You know,
And so where
there's
was
too
the
much-
shift in that? Like, was that like that growing up or what? Like, because obviously now that they're talking about these songs.
Yeah.
They're talking about guns and they're talking
Yeah.
about knives and they're talking about all this shit. This is relatively new, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's never been Australian artists do this before. Like what's
I can't talk on that because obviously I grew up here.
Yeah.
And a lot of this shit was like, nah, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
bullshit. Like growing up here, there was none of this.
Yeah.
But I feel like, not to put the blame on New Zealand, but New Zealand was real rough.
yeah,
All of my cousins were real rough.
yeah.
And so like, as people came from New Zealand here,
They started bringing it
they
over.
started bringing that trend.
Yeah.
Or not really a trend, but that state of mind.
Yeah.
Like it was real gangster. It's like, it was pretty much America where
Yeah.
they were living in New Zealand. And so once they come here, just mixed with our Polynesians, and then everyone just got amongst it. Like there was just too much talk. Yeah, just everyone's too prideful.
Yeah.
Everyone just wants to be the strongest kind of. Everyone just sorry, excuse my language.
That's all right.
Everyone just wants to be top dog. Everyone just wants to be fucking boss.
So you don't really understand where that kind of beef came from, but it's obviously continued to progress.
Yeah.
Did you want to go into that anymore? or-
It's out of my hands. Like it's progressed to the point where I didn't want it to, but I'm forced to fucking go about it.
Yeah.
Because it just has to be what it has to be. It's come real personal now.
Yeah.
So it's beyond music.
So is it almost art imitating life? All
yeah,
this shit?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're talking about like growing up. You're like, yeah, it was good growing up. We all had fun. We all growing up together in churches and this,
Yeah.
that. And then now it's like people are threatening each other with shit.
Yeah.
And so how does that shift? Like, it's obviously, yeah, it seems to me like, what's the word? What have I said before?
It's like if I had my whole playlist out of all the music I've made, you'd understand what I've been through.
Yeah, yeah.
And like you've understand what I was a good kid. I'm no hard guy. Like I pride myself in being raised by good parents.
Yeah.
You know, in church, like I said, and through my music, if I was to have my playlist out, you'd understand like where it's gone wrong and like just the change of direction for different generations. And I tell you now, it's only going to get worse. Which is the negative part.
It's one of those things. Is like I think about like the drill stuff, and people are like, oh, it's no different than a violent movie.
Yeah.
But I see these young kids, man, and
Yeah.
I see them trying to pretend to act that out.
And I hate
Sometimes
it.
I think to myself, I'm like, okay, well, if these dudes are singing about, if they're putting 10% of mayo on what they're talking about,
Yeah.
the next guy puts 10% of mayo on what they're talking about. Are these young kids gonna copy it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are they actually gonna start doing what is being said? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because I fucking hope that these songs aren't real.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. And I'll tell you now, 90% of these songs aren't.
it's
real.
just like, hopefully people aren't just out
Yeah,
there each other.
yeah.
Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah, like I tell you now, because like obviously 1-4 kicked it off for us.
Yeah.
For Australia and especially for our people, and they're real.
Yeah.
That was a life. Like before 1-4 was 1-4, and I knew the guys. Like I've been to Sydney plenty of times in Mount Druitt, and I've been there where it's kicked off.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I know these guys aren't just rapping about, and it's obviously they're court cases now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Unfortunately for the boys, but like this is real life for them,
Yeah.
and they're trying to make a positive thing. That's the difference between.
And that's
what's
the thing
happening.
it is like you go back to the drill stuff, which I'm sure people don't know, but it started in Chicago with a guy called Chief Keef.
Yes.
And then it moved into England.
Yeah,
and
UK and that.
UK and stuff, and in there, and everywhere it's ever been, the same thing that's happening in Australia, it's happened.
Yeah.
So when I was in Chicago, they squashed it, and they wouldn't let anyone play music. England, the same thing happened. Yeah, so they stopped. They wouldn't let anyone play music. Still to this day, they don't.
Yeah.
And then Australia, bang, same thing again. So it's like it continues on, but it's a hard thing because it's like you got these young guys talking about shit that they've been in and what's happening, and they're people who are listening to it are people. I got plenty of mates who listen to this shit. They're not
Yeah.
fucking going out stabbing,
Yeah.
but sounds good.
Yeah.
And it's like so they can't be better themselves because of the violent connotation in their music, but they grew up with it.
Yeah.
It's like it's a real hard one because it's like, okay, well, are they influencing people? Is it just music? Is it that? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it's sort of sad to see that what has happened
It
to
is.
these boys. Yeah, like
Yeah, it is real unfortunate. It's real sad because like
obviously they committed crimes.
Yeah,
reality.
that's
And
understandable.
you've got to pay the time. If
yeah,
you
you
commit
do.
crime.
That's 100%.
But it's just bad timing. Like
Yeah,
if
it
this
is.
if that hadn't happened. So for those that don't know, 1-4 is a group that's based in Sydney. It's a drill group. They committed basically a bashing that involved hammers and whatnot last year in July. And then they blew up in sort of like, I guess, Jan, Feb. They're the most streamed artists in Australia right now. So like they're actually the biggest act in Australia. And then the court cases came up and then they all received their sentences. The shortest was 4 years and the longest was 10. So 3 of the 5 members of 1-4 are now in jail for between 4 to 10 years. So it's going to be interesting to see what the future holds for those guys. But it was bad timing because I feel like if they had got musical support or whatever beforehand, maybe this stuff wouldn't have happened in the first place.
100%.
What's your sort of take on that?
It's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like, but it's at the same time, it's fair enough.
Yeah.
You know, it's just cases that come up. But my take is to be honest, is directed at the people that are doing it now.
Yeah.
I think it's just fun and cool.
Yeah.
Because it's not, it's not the direction that you want your kids to be rapping about.
Yeah.
Especially when that stuff comes in and people pull you up in real life.
Yeah.
And then you just don't know what to do because you've been rapping about it, but you're not.
Yeah.
Those are like the more people are more focused and worried about.
Yeah.
Just people that are rapping about it, but not about it.
Yeah.
These guys have put it out and everyone's bit onto their trend, but it's just real unfortunate for the boys, 1-4 and that.
Yeah.
They did really good, but I don't know how they're going to come back. Yeah, like you said, there's only two of them now.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they do, but like it's hard. And it's like, I think you and I discussed this before the podcast, but the reality of it is that even though there's a lot of controversy and bad stuff about this, what's happened with 1-4 is that it's opened up a gateway for
100.
new musicians in 100%. That, not just anywhere, like it can be Asians, African, Polynesians. Everywhere. People are ready to listen to different stuff.
Yeah.
And you've seen that with guys like Young Lips, HP Boys, because at the end of the day, they're not drill either. It's something else.
They're on their own lane.
And even in my opinion, like what you do is rap, not drill or anything like that. And then there's there's becoming more and more artists that there's more, like there was one genre and now there's like fucking 20. And then people are ready to listen to and hear new stuff.
Which is good. It's good for the music
everybody.
Industry. Yeah, it's good for everyone that's making music. Like right now, you can pop off.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
legit
you
pop
don't.
off.
Yeah, like back in my day, you had to do like
popping off was getting 40,000 views on YouTube.
And it was hard.
Yeah.
I dreamt of 1 million views. And guys are just doing it overnight.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy how the industry is working now because like there's hits everywhere now. Everyone can make a hit. It doesn't take much to appreciate music now.
Yeah.
I guess 1-4 did set that
Man,
standard.
there's so many Polynesian groups at the moment. There's there'd be fucking 500, I reckon.
Like I said, we can't keep up anymore.
Do you feel like that is going to be harder to get better because there's so many?
I feel like it has affected me even writing. Like I take pride in my lyrics. Like that's what my fan base is about. They appreciate my lyrics, real life stuff.
Yeah.
Into detail. And so like that's why I feel like music now lacks heaps.
Yeah.
They can talk because it's all about like drilling, like
rap. I feel like one of the things I've noticed here, it's like I spoke to you the other day and I was like, you're going to put a verse in this song?
Yeah.
It's because you are a lyricist. Like that's a reality of like, it's your music, unless you're really into rap, especially the last year, in my opinion, it's like, unless you're really into rap and understand the art of it, it's not a mainstream what you're doing because you don't have those like catchy verses and whatever. So it's like the spit fucking like what was the song you did before outro?
What was it called?
Fuck man, you're good with your own back catalog.
Like once I make a track and I
send the song before outro, even outro, it's like to spit like 360 fucking bars like in a row, like that's crazy. Yeah, like, as someone who understands the whole part of it and the history of it, I find that really amazing. But so what sort of what's next for you? Like, what obviously you did the outro and that was sort of the end of the game. Like, is it the end of the game? Do you want to talk about that or?
I'll talk about it's not really the end for me. I told everyone it would be the end. It's more like of a break.
Yeah.
I'm going through heaps at the moment. I've got kids and that, so I need to really balance out and prioritize myself. But I'm back next year.
Yeah.
And I've always been here. It's not like I left. Like when I told people I was still writing like low key, but I'll be releasing music 100% more consistent, organized. I needed this time to organize myself and plan myself for the next year. And I feel like I'll be more consistent next year and more productive.
So what about, with the story going on forward next, do you think it's going to be related to some of the stuff that's happened this year, or are you going to try and stay away from it? Or?
Nah, 100%. So like I said, I rap about real life stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't believe what I rap about, but that's all I can rap about.
Yeah.
So everything that's happened to me this end year, throughout this year, which has been a shit year for me, is all going to be out next year, and it's not gonna be pretty, but it's gonna be real.
Yeah.
And that's something I pride myself in. Real shit. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you're just doing this, you're just doing that, you're rapping about. But this is actually what we've been through. Me and my boys, my family.
Because there's some really powerful shit in the outro.
Yeah.
And there was one where you talk about your sister and your mum and all that sort of jazz.
Yeah.
It
came to that point.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of that stuff has happened. Like, I don't have to go into detail about it. But
it came to the point where beef was showing up in my doorstep.
Yeah.
Like my parents' house, and like affecting my family, my kids, my nephews, my nieces.
Yeah.
It was real personal. And that's why I was like, this music stuff is rubbish to me now. I gotta sort this shit out.
Yeah.
So I've sorted this shit out, and still going to this day. I don't know when it'll die out. But I figured now, because HB are the primary focus of this beef, and because they started it, I'm just going to take place in it. And because they're popping off, I'd be an idiot if I didn't take, if I don't wear the trend.
Yeah.
Like, I make music too. These guys are hating on me now that they made music. They kind of made a bit off my name. So I'd be an idiot if I'm beefing with him and I'm not going to say anything about it musically.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
So that's what's definitely going to come out. Bit of beef, but then I've got other features that I'm working on interstate with big names that are popping off right now, like Mussy Rooks is in talk.
Oh, no shit, really?
That's
the sickest film clip.
Yeah, that is a movie.
Did you watch the doco?
Yeah.
Yeah, the doco's sick.
I watched the whole thing. Yeah, I talked to him. I go, bro, that's
hey, man, like one of the things I say, obviously, did some pretty fucking heavy time. But his message was good. Yeah, like, his message was like, stop worrying about this postcode shit, blah, 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 blah. And like, I feel like that. Like,
100%. That's the way I feel. And I feel like that was our first conversation that we had. Like, I reposted it and I appreciated it. Because that's my drive. Like, in the cells, our people stick together. Out here, it's different.
Yeah, it's weird, huh?
That's why every single cousin of mine that come out, that's all they say.
Yeah.
Inside, it's not about whether a club you belong to and this and that.
It's retarded.
Like, it's nationality stick together inside there. And then they come out here and we're all fighting each other. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's where he got his, state of mind from. But that's always been my state of mind.
One other thing I'm going to ask, because you might know more about it, just because I'm interested, is that whole OC Outcast thing. What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
I know it's a prison gang, but...
Yeah, I know it's a prison gang. Hooligan Hefs was in it too. I think it's just a group.
Yeah, I don't know much about it.
Pretty much just a group.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. I just know that they represent it hard.
Yeah.
But no, don't know.
So what else is on the calendar kind of looking forward?
The first track I drop is going to be a big one. So I'm really building that up.
Yeah.
We'll do
release date or anything?
Yeah. No, there's no release date. We still haven't finished the track. It's still in works. But yeah, it's going to be a real big one for us. But then it'll just be consistent, more consistent.
Yeah, cool.
I said, I've finally organised myself. So.
And there's a better platform now. So like, I'm sure like talk on behalf of a lot of other people. I'd love to see that be more consistent.
Yeah. I feel like that's all I needed, to be honest.
So one of your big lines in one of your songs was that you have no rappers you look up to. Is there any that you look up to at the moment?
There's a lot now. Things have changed.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm no hater. Like I pride myself in like us as a people. Like, and when I say people, I'm not talking about Polynesian people. I'm talking about Australia. So like I'm real happy of where it's gone, as music has gone to now.
Yeah.
And so like. Yeah, there's no, like, I rate heaps of people now.
Yeah.
I never used to rate people, but then I don't know where they came from. They're just really good. I feel like the catchiness is wearing off on me too. So
yeah. Who do you rate?
Mussy Rooks, his first song he released with Hooligan was real good. Hooligan's bangers are mad.
Yeah.
I
feel like that's a quiet taste. I'm not really into it.
Yeah.
My mates fucking froth it.
Yeah, they love it. It's good for the club scene too.
I think for me, it's like, again, like going back to what I said before, like I'm really into the art of it. Like,
me too.
I like to listen to guys like Jonah Lucas, and I feel like you're kind of an Australian version of that. But when it's super dumbed down over dance music, but cool.
Yeah, a lot of them. 1-4.
Of course.
Yeah, there's plenty. Like you said, there's heaps of artists now. So
popping off.
I could have a list of them.
Cool. So that's so watch out for 2020.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, I tell you.
All right, done. All right, bro. Well, we're going to cut it short there because we've hit over the hour mark now.
Yeah, appreciate
Thanks
it.
heaps for coming down all the way from Cranbourne.
It was a drive.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Danny. Thanks for having me.
All good, bro.